Ladies and gentlemen, all right, I'll craft this speech in the style of Denzel Washington, energetic, insightful, and packed with life-changing wisdom. It will be motivational with a focus on the theme of changing the way you see yourself. It will be impactful, but without directly referencing the speaker or using an ending sentence like in conclusion or thank you, let's go. You've been told all your life how to think, how to feel, how to see the world, but what I need you to understand is this: the way you see yourself, the way you look at who you are, that's the foundation of everything. If you don't change that, nothing changes. You can't expect to have a better life if you keep looking at it through the same lens, the same narrow view, the same limitations you've been taught to believe about yourself. Listen, you're going to have people who try to define you, people who try to put you in a box, tell you who you are, what you're capable of, and where you belong. But you've got to understand something important here. Nobody knows you like you know you. And nobody can tell you what your potential is except for you. What's it going to take for you to see the truth? The truth that everything you want, everything you dream about, it's already in you. The question is whether you'll ever be able to see it. You've got to ask yourself right now, what do I see when I look in the mirror? Do you see someone who's worthy of greatness, or do you see someone who's already given up before they even start? The way you see yourself is the first step to your destiny. Your mindset, your confidence, your willingness to fight for what you believe you deserve, it all begins with how you see you. There are people in this world who don't want to see you succeed. You know it, I know it. But here's the problem. Too many of us give those people power. We give them the power to shape how we see ourselves. We listen to the critics, we listen to the doubters, we listen to the voices in our heads that tell us we're not enough. But I'm telling you, the only voice you need to listen to is the one that says, I am enough. You can't let other people define you. You can't let the failures, the mistakes, or the setbacks define you either. You are not your past. You are not the mistakes you made last week, last year, or yesterday. You are who you decide to be today. Your power is in the present moment. It's in the decision you make right now to change your perspective, to see yourself differently. Because when you start to change the way you see yourself, you start to change your actions, your choices, your results. You're standing at a crossroads right now, right here. And you've got two choices. You can continue to look at yourself through the same lens that's been holding you back. Or you can choose to look at yourself through the lens of greatness, possibility, and resilience. Because I'm telling you, greatness is not something that's reserved for a few special people. Greatness is available to anyone who dares to believe it. It's available to anyone who dares to change the way they see themselves. Now, I know it's not easy. Life isn't going to hand you anything on a silver platter. It's going to challenge you. It's going to test you. You're going to face obstacles that seem insurmountable. And people are going to try to tell you it's not possible. But here's the thing, you've got to have the strength to look at those obstacles and say, I'm bigger than that. I'm stronger than that. I'm smarter than that. I'm smarter than that. You've got to believe that your circumstances do not dictate your potential. When you change the way you see yourself, you change the way you approach challenges. You stop seeing problems as roadblocks and you start seeing them as opportunities. You start to look at obstacles as stepping stones to something greater. Because when you believe in your own potential, when you see yourself as capable, strong, and worthy of success, you start to approach every challenge with a different mindset. You stop being intimidated. You stop being afraid of failure. You start seeing failure as nothing more than a lesson. You get up, you learn from it, and you keep moving forward. But here's the thing, it's not just about having that belief in yourself. It's about action. You can't sit around and wait for opportunities to come to you. You've got to go out and make them. You've got to take action. If you're waiting for the perfect time to start, if you're waiting for the right moment when everything aligns, I hate to break it to you, but that moment might never come. There is no perfect time, there's just now. And now is the time to change the way you see yourself and the way you approach your life. Success isn't a straight line. It's not about taking one step and immediately getting where you want to go. There will be bumps in the road, there will be setbacks, and there will be people who tell you it's not worth it. But you know what separates those who make it from those who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's resilience. It's the ability to keep going when everyone else quits. It's the courage to keep looking at yourself and saying, I'm worth it. I'm capable of more. You've got to have the courage to fail. The courage to risk everything in pursuit of your dreams. I know you've heard it before, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But what I want you to understand is this: if you don't risk it all, you'll never know what you could have achieved. And if you've been playing it safe all your life, you need to stop. You need to start taking risks. You need to start betting on yourself, even when the odds seem stacked against you. People who see themselves as capable. People who believe they are worthy of success, those are the people who make it. Those are the people who get back up after every knockdown and keep moving forward, no matter how many times they fall. And you've got that in you. I know you do. You've got the strength to overcome anything. But you've got to see it. You've got to change the way you look at yourself and start believing that you are worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of. Because once you see that, once you truly believe it, the world has no choice but to respond. The opportunities will start to open up. The doors that once seemed closed will start to swing wide open. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not. There will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be moments when you question your decisions. But those are the moments when you have to dig deep. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself of what you've already overcome. Remind yourself that you've come too far to turn back now. I've got this: when you change the way you see yourself, you start to see your potential. And when you see your potential, you start acting on it. You start showing up for yourself every single day. You start putting in the work because you know that the results will follow. Listen, you're not just here to survive. You're not just here to get by. You're here to thrive. You're here to make a difference. But that all starts with changing how you see yourself. Because once you believe in your own greatness, once you see yourself as the person capable of achieving incredible things, you start to walk differently, you start to speak differently, and you start to live differently. So stop looking for permission from others. Stop waiting for someone else to validate you. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're worthy. You've got to know it. And once you know it, the world will have no choice but to take notice. You will create your own opportunities. You will build your own path. You will break through the walls that others said were impossible to overcome. The way you see yourself is the key to your success. Change that and you change everything. If you want more out of life, if you want more for yourself, if you want to see your dreams become reality, start by changing the way you see you. Because when you do that, there's nothing that can stop you. Your self-perception shapes your reality. The way you see yourself is the foundation of everything. If you see yourself as capable, worthy, and strong, you will approach challenges with confidence and resilience. Your self-image directly influences your actions, choices, and the outcomes you achieve. Overcome the limitations imposed by others in your past. Don't let the opinions, doubts, or judgments of others define you. You are not your past mistakes, and you are not limited by the circumstances you were born into. To change your future, you must change the way you view yourself, believing in your own potential instead of being shaped by others' perceptions or past failures. Success requires action, resilience, and risk-taking. Success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action, making risks, and bouncing back from failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's resilience and the willingness to keep going when others quit. You are capable of creating your own opportunities. Once you change how you see yourself, you begin to take control of your own path. You stop waiting for validation or permission from others, and you start creating your own opportunities. By believing in your own greatness, you gain the power to shape your future and make a lasting impact. The way you see yourself is the most important determinant of your success. This isn't just a motivational cliche, it's a fundamental truth about human behavior, growth, and achievement. You see, everything in your life, every decision you make, every step you take, every obstacle you face stems from how you perceive yourself in relation to the world around you. How you view your potential, your worth, and your abilities determines how far you'll go in life. It dictates your actions, how you handle adversity, and what you ultimately achieve. At the core of every human being is the ability to shape and mold their reality. The mind is an incredibly powerful thing, and your beliefs about yourself act as the lens through which you view the world. The thoughts you think about yourself become your truths. They influence your self-confidence, your ability to persevere, and your willingness to embrace opportunities. Your perception of who you are becomes your reality. When you see yourself as someone who is capable of great things, you will naturally approach life with a sense of purpose, confidence, and determination. But if you see yourself as unworthy, incapable, or destined for failure, your actions will reflect that belief. You will approach challenges with hesitation, doubt, and fear of failure. You'll find reasons to hold back or avoid opportunities because deep down you don't believe you're worthy of success. This cycle becomes self-perpetuating and you start to confirm your own doubts about yourself. The reality is that how you perceive yourself determines your ability to take risks, make bold decisions, and push beyond your comfort zone. If you're stuck in a limited, self-defeating mindset, it's hard to make progress. The beliefs you hold about your capabilities, whether they're empowering or restrictive, will shape the choices you make. If you view yourself as someone who isn't good enough, you'll settle for mediocrity. You won't push yourself to be better because you don't believe you deserve it. On the other hand, when you shift your mindset and see yourself as someone worthy of success, the opportunities you pursue become endless. What's more, our society often feeds us limiting beliefs about what is possible, especially for certain groups of people. Maybe you were raised in a household where success wasn't emphasized or was seen as something only for a select few. Perhaps you've been told by people you trust that certain goals or dreams are out of your league or that you don't have what it takes, but let me tell you something, those words, those opinions, those ideas, they don't define you unless you let them. Your perception of yourself is malleable, and it is within your power to change. The world may try to tell you that you're not enough, that you can't make it, or that you don't have the right background or resources. But that's all it is, the world's opinion. The reality is that you can shift your mindset, challenge those negative beliefs, and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of achieving incredible things. When you change the way you see yourself, you begin to change the world around you. If you've ever looked at someone who seems to effortlessly accomplish what they set out to do, you may have thought, what's their secret? What makes them different? I'll tell you this, it's not that they have some unique advantage. It's not that they have more talent, more resources, or more time than you. It's that they believe in themselves in a way that you might not yet. They've conditioned themselves to see themselves as someone who is deserving of success, someone who can figure things out, someone who isn't afraid to fail. And that belief pushes them forward, even when the odds are stacked against them. That's the difference between success and failure belief. Self-belief is the foundation of achievement. The minute you start doubting your ability to succeed, you're already setting up barriers that prevent you from trying, from taking action, and from giving it your all. But the moment you choose to believe in your potential, doors begin to open, opportunities appear. You start to act with confidence, and others begin to see you the way you see yourself. It's important to understand that self-perception isn't just about how you feel in any given moment, it's the deep, lasting belief you hold about your identity. This belief influences the decisions you make when you face challenges. When you encounter setbacks, do you see them as failures or as lessons? When you experience rejection, do you see it as a personal indictment, or do you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow? The way you view these situations is directly tied to the way you see yourself. Someone who believes in their worth will see a rejection as nothing more than a redirection, a sign that there's something better ahead. On the other hand, someone who doubts their worth will see rejection as proof of their failure, which only reinforces their self-doubt and fear of taking further risks. Take a moment and think about the last time you faced a difficult situation. How did you approach it? Did you rise to the challenge or did you shy away from it? The answer to that question is likely tied to your self-perception. If you saw yourself as capable of overcoming the challenge, you probably took it head on. But if you saw yourself as someone who couldn't handle the pressure, you may have avoided the situation altogether, or worse, given up too soon. The way you see yourself influences your decisions in ways that you may not even realize. This is why it's critical to develop a positive, empowering self-image. It doesn't mean you're delusional or blind to your weaknesses. It means you acknowledge your strengths and embrace the belief that you can grow and improve. No one is born perfect, and everyone has areas where they need to improve. But when you have a strong sense of self-worth, you don't let those weaknesses define you. You see them as areas for growth. You take responsibility for them, work on them, and keep moving forward. Changing the way you see yourself isn't about achieving perfection. It's about accepting who you are right now while believing that you are capable of becoming more. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity where you see yourself as lacking or not enough to a mindset of abundance, where you see yourself as whole and capable of growth, learning, and achieving. This change in perception doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. It requires patience, commitment, and self-compassion. But once you begin this process, you will notice a shift in how you approach life. You will become more willing to take risks, to try new things, and to face challenges head on, because you will no longer view yourself as inadequate or unworthy. There's an old saying that goes, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. It's a simple statement, but it holds so much truth. The power of your belief system cannot be underestimated. If you think you can't accomplish something, you'll find reasons why you can't. You'll avoid the work, you'll make excuses, and you'll self-sabotage your own success. But if you think you can, your actions will reflect that belief. You'll take the steps necessary to make it happen, even when the road gets tough. This is why it's crucial to consciously work on changing the way you see yourself. The first step is to become aware of the limiting beliefs you may have about yourself. What stories have you been telling yourself about your capabilities, your worth, or your potential? Have you been telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, or that success is for someone else but not for you? If so, it's time to rewrite those stories. You get to decide the narrative of your life. You can choose to believe in your greatness, your worth, and your capacity to achieve anything you set your mind to. It won't be easy, and there will be days when doubt creeps in. But the more you practice shifting your mindset, the easier it will become. You'll start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll see challenges as opportunities for growth, not as insurmountable problems. And you'll stop waiting for permission from others or the perfect conditions to move forward. You'll take action because you believe in your ability to make things happen. The power of self-perception is that it not only shapes your external world, but also your internal world. How you see yourself impacts how you feel about yourself. If you see yourself as valuable, capable, and worthy, you'll feel confident and at peace with who you are. If you see yourself as inadequate, you'll constantly feel frustrated and uncertain. The way you feel about yourself affects your mental health, your emotional well-being, and your overall sense of happiness. So it's not just about success in the external world, it's also about finding peace and fulfillment within yourself. In the end, the way you see yourself is the key to unlocking everything you want in life. It determines how you respond to challenges, how you handle setbacks, and how you approach opportunities. It's the most powerful tool you have to create the life you want. Changing the way you see yourself is the first step to changing your life. And once you make that change, everything else will follow. We've all been there. At some point in our lives, someone tells us we can't do something, that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes. Maybe it's a teacher, a parent, a friend, or even a stranger. Maybe it's society as a whole telling us that our dreams are too big, our goals too lofty, or our circumstances too challenging. And you know what? Those words, those opinions, they can shape our lives. They can shape how we see ourselves and the potential we believe we have. But here's the thing, those limitations, those doubts, those restrictions, they only have power over you if you let them. People can say whatever they want. The past can be filled with failures, mistakes, or moments that make you feel unworthy. But none of that, not one single part of it, defines who you are unless you allow it to. The key to overcoming the limitations imposed by others in your past is choosing to believe that you are more than the sum of your experiences, more than the judgments of others, and more than the labels that have been placed on you. You see, limitations are not just external, they can be internal as well. Often we carry the weight of other people's doubts with us long after the words have been spoken. A teacher who said you would never amount to anything, a parent who dismissed your dreams, or a peer who laughed at your ideas, they may have planted a seed of doubt in your mind. Over time, that seed can grow into a belief that holds you back, and you may begin to see yourself as incapable, unworthy, or limited in some way. But those thoughts are not facts. They are simply ideas that you have the power to change. It's important to understand that those external voices, those judgments, are not personal attacks on your potential. They are projections of the limitations and fears of the person speaking them. People project their own insecurities, fears, and boundaries onto you. They speak from their own experience, and sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. They may not believe it's possible for themselves, so they try to. Success doesn't just happen because you want it or because you hope for it. It's not a matter of waiting for the stars to align or for the perfect moment to appear. No, success is something you have to work for relentlessly, consistently, and sometimes even against the grain. It's not about talent or luck, though they may play a small part. It's about action, resilience, and risk-taking. Without these three elements, even the best ideas, the biggest dreams, and the most ambitious goals can fade into nothing. You can have the perfect plan, the most brilliant vision for your future. But if you don't take action, if you don't get up and do something, nothing will change. Action is the starting point. You have to move. You have to make the decision to go after what you want and take that first step, no matter how intimidating it may be. The truth is, most people fail before they even begin because they're paralyzed by fear, doubt, or a lack of clarity. They wait for the right time or for the perfect set of conditions, but here's a hard truth: the perfect time never comes. There will never be a moment when everything is lined up perfectly. If you wait for that moment, you will be waiting forever. Success requires you to jump, even when you can't see the landing. It requires you to make moves without knowing all the answers, without having all the resources. It's about taking that first step, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. The action doesn't have to be huge, it just needs to be intentional. It just needs to move you forward, even if it's a small step. The point is, if you don't move, you'll never get anywhere. You can't expect your dreams to come to life if you're just standing still, waiting for something to happen. In the beginning, action may feel uncomfortable. It's a leap into the unknown. And the unknown is always a little bit scary. But that's where the growth happens. The only way to move forward is to break through that initial discomfort. Most people never push through that discomfort, which is why they stay stuck in their current situation. They talk about their dreams, they make plans, but they never take the steps necessary to bring those plans to fruition. If you want success, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you build momentum. You prove to yourself that you can do it. You get closer to your goal with every move. But taking action is only part of the equation. The second key to success is resilience, the ability to keep going when things get tough, when you face setbacks, when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. Life isn't a straight line. There will be bumps, detours, and even roadblocks. And it's easy to give up when things get hard. It's easy to throw in the towel and walk away when you encounter failure. But success isn't reserved for those who never fail, it's reserved for those who fail and keep going. Resilience is about bouncing back after you fall. It's about learning from your mistakes and using them as stepping stones to grow stronger. It's about maintaining faith in yourself even when the world tries to tell you that you're not good enough. When you're on the road to success, you will face obstacles. You will experience rejection, disappointment, and frustration. But those who succeed are the ones who keep pushing forward in spite of it. They don't let temporary setbacks define their future. They see failure as a lesson, not a final destination. One of the biggest challenges is learning how to deal with the emotional toll that setbacks can take. When things aren't going the way you planned, it can feel like a personal failure. It can shake your confidence, make you question your abilities, and cause you to doubt your decisions. That's where resilience comes in. Resilience is the strength to rise after the fall. The key is to reframe failure as a part of the process. Every successful person has faced adversity. Every successful person has been knocked down, sometimes multiple times. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is their willingness to get back up. Resilience requires a deep sense of purpose and belief in what you're doing. When you know why you're doing something, when you have a strong why driving you, setbacks don't feel like roadblocks, they feel like challenges to overcome. Resilience is built on persistence, but it's also built on perspective. If you look at failure as the end, as the moment when it's all over, then that's what it will be. But if you view it as an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to evolve, you can use it to your advantage. The successful don't let failure stop them. They use it as fuel to go harder, faster, and stronger. But even resilience alone isn't enough. Success also requires risk-taking. You cannot play it safe if you want to achieve greatness. Playing it safe keeps you in your comfort zone, and nothing great ever happens in your comfort zone. Risk-taking is about stepping into the unknown, doing things you've never done before, and sometimes even making yourself vulnerable in the process. It's about putting yourself out there, not knowing if it will work, but trusting that the risk is worth it. Risk-taking involves uncertainty, and uncertainty often brings fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. These are the fears that keep most people from taking risks. But without risk, there is no reward. Without risk, you'll never reach your full potential. The reality is, the most successful people are those who have taken risks, who have put everything on the line and gambled on themselves. They understood that risk is a natural part of the journey to success, and they didn't shy away from it. Taking risks doesn't mean acting recklessly or without thinking. It means evaluating the potential reward and understanding that the biggest risk is not taking one at all. Many people wait until they feel ready or until they're absolutely sure they won't fail. But readiness rarely comes before you take action. Waiting for the perfect moment is often just an excuse to stay in the comfort zone. Taking risks is about betting on yourself and trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about doing things that scare you because you understand that on the other side of fear is growth, opportunity, and success. Success isn't just about taking big risks either. Sometimes it's small, calculated risks that add up over time. Each decision to step outside your comfort zone, to take a chance, even in small ways, is a victory. It's a victory that builds confidence, that strengthens your ability to handle bigger risks down the road. The point is that risk-taking is essential. Without it, you remain stagnant. You miss opportunities. You stay in the same place, never moving forward, never reaching your potential. But when you take risks, you put yourself in a position to grow, to stretch, and to achieve things you never thought possible. There's something incredibly powerful about taking action, being resilient, and taking risks. When you combine these three elements, you build a foundation for success that's unshakable. It's a foundation that allows you to keep moving forward no matter what happens. It gives you the courage to face failure, the strength to rise from setbacks, and the boldness to go after what you want with everything you've got. And most importantly, it's the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough, when the world tells you to quit, when your own doubts creep in. But here's the thing, the work doesn't end when you reach your goal. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. The action you take today, the resilience you build in the face of adversity, and the risk you take will carry you into tomorrow and the next day. Success isn't a one-time achievement, it's a continuous process of growth, learning, and pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's about setting new goals, facing new challenges, and continuing to take risks to reach even higher levels of success. Action, resilience, and risk-taking are the pillars that support the way to success. They are the engine that drives you forward, even when the road is unclear. They give you the strength to persevere, the courage to take chances, and the determination to keep going, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. If you can learn to harness these three elements in your life, you will not only achieve success, you will create a life that is full of purpose, meaning, and unshakable confidence. Because when you act, when you bounce back from adversity, and when you take risks, nothing is impossible. You are capable of creating your own opportunities. That's the truth you need to hold on to, no matter where you're starting from, no matter what challenges you face or how impossible it might seem in the moment. The reality is that most people wait for opportunities to come to them. They wait for someone to give them a break, for a job to open up, or for the stars to align in their favor. And while those things can happen from time to time, they're not the foundation of true success. The foundation of true success lies in your ability to create your own opportunities, to build your path, and to make things happen on your own terms. Opportunities aren't just something that fall into your lap. They're not something that can only be handed to you by others. If you wait for the right moment, you'll wait forever. If you wait for the world to show you the way, it may never do so. You have to create your own path. You have to step out and make things happen. This is the first mindset shift you need to understand. Opportunities are not limited to the external world. They are limitless and they are within your reach if you choose to create them. Too often we fall into the trap of thinking that success is about waiting for the perfect circumstances or waiting for someone else to take a chance on us. But if you rely solely on outside factors, you're giving up your power. You're allowing external circumstances, things that are beyond your control, to determine your fate. You are the creator of your life. Every day you have the chance to step forward, take action, create your own destiny. It's not about waiting for permission or looking for a guarantee. It's about deciding that you will not wait around for others to shape your future. You will shape it yourself. The most successful people are those who don't wait for things to happen. They make them happen. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They take initiative. They seek out solutions instead of waiting for someone to hand them an answer. They understand that they don't need someone else's approval to move forward. They just need their own belief in their ability to create change. And once you start believing in your own ability to create opportunities, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Opportunities are not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. They are available to anyone who is willing to create them. Creating your own opportunity starts with a shift in how you view the world. Instead of seeing yourself as a passive participant, someone who is waiting for things to come to them, you need to start seeing yourself as an active creator. The way you approach life, your attitude, and the energy you put out all contribute to the opportunities that will come your way. When you are proactive, when you take action and initiative, you begin to open doors for yourself that otherwise would have remained closed. It's not magic, it's about mindset. It's about recognizing that the world will not bend to your will unless you make it. One of the first things you must do to create your own opportunities is to embrace your own potential. Too often we underestimate ourselves. We think that we need someone else to validate our worth, or we rely too much on external circumstances to give us a sense of purpose or direction. But in reality, everything you need to create opportunity is already inside you. You have the skills, the knowledge, and the drive to succeed. The key is believing in your own ability to make things happen. You don't need permission. You don't need a perfect set of circumstances. What you need is the confidence to take the first step, even if you don't know exactly where it will lead. Believing in your own potential means that you trust yourself to find solutions, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep going even when things get tough. It means being willing to take risks even when the outcome is uncertain. It means understanding that failure isn't a sign that you're not capable. It's a lesson that helps you grow stronger and smarter for the next step. When you trust in yourself and your abilities, you create an environment where opportunities can flourish. Confidence attracts opportunity, and when you show the world that you're ready to create something for yourself, you'll begin to see doors open that you never thought possible. Another critical aspect of creating your own opportunities is taking initiative. So many people sit around waiting for things to happen to them, waiting for someone else to recognize their potential. But if you're always waiting for someone else to hand you the keys to your success, you may be waiting a long time. You have to go out and take what is yours. If there's a job you want, go after it. If there's a business you want to start, start it. If there's a skill you want to learn, learn it. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Take ownership of your life and start making the moves that will bring you closer to your goals. Taking initiative means stepping up, even when you're unsure. It's about not waiting for things to be perfect, but working with what you have and making the best of it. It's about rolling up your sleeves and getting to work, even when you don't know exactly what the outcome will be. The act of doing something, anything, will lead you to the next thing. You will make connections. You will learn. You will improve. But if you wait, nothing will happen. Action leads to results. You may not always get it right the first time, but the important thing is that you try. And when you try, you're already ahead of those who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen. Networking is another crucial tool in creating your own opportunities. So many people underestimate the power of building relationships with others. The truth is, success is rarely a solo endeavor. It's built on connections, collaborations, and support from others. But these relationships don't just happen. They are created through effort, through communication, and through showing up. Networking is about building a community of people who can help you along the way and whom you can help in return. It's not about asking for handouts or looking for shortcuts. It's about showing up, building trust, and contributing value. When you create relationships based on mutual respect and shared goals, you open up opportunities that you may have never expected. Opportunities can be found in conversations, in collaborations, in sharing knowledge, and in seeking advice. People who create their own opportunities understand the importance of surrounding themselves with like-minded individuals who are also striving for success. The more people you know, the more likely it is that you'll be exposed to new ideas, new opportunities, and new possibilities. Opportunities rarely come to those who are isolated. The more you network, the more you increase your chances of finding the right opportunity at the right time. One of the most important things to understand when it comes to creating your own opportunities is the need to stay persistent. You will encounter rejection. You will encounter failure. You will face challenges that seem insurmountable. But success is not about avoiding these challenges, it's about how you deal with them. If you're not persistent, if you give up the first time you face adversity, then you'll never get where you want to go. Creating opportunities requires a mentality of perseverance. Even when things get hard, even when you don't see immediate results, you have to keep going. Opportunities are created through persistence. The more you push, the more you will uncover. Persistence means staying focused on your goals, even when the road gets rough. It means sticking with it when things aren't going your way, because you know that your success is just around the corner. If you stay committed, if you keep taking action and learning from your mistakes, you will eventually find success. You will create the opportunities you've been working for. But it requires staying the course and not giving up when things get tough. The reality is that you are not at the mercy of the world. You are the architect of your own future. You have the power to create your own opportunities, and not just for yourself, but for others as well. When you take action, when you believe in your own potential, and when you persist, you open doors for yourself and for others. You build a life of purpose, a life of meaning, and a life where opportunities are no longer something you wait for, they are something you create. It's time to stop waiting for others to define your future. It's time to stop relying on external circumstances to determine your success. You have everything you need within you to create your own opportunities. The only thing holding you back is you.